I believe Capitao has been a very underrated operator for a very long time, and I'm glad you clicked on this video because hopefully I can convince you to actually play this operator. But of course, I can't just say this operator is good and not explain why. So let's go ahead and start the video properly. Capitao is a 1 armor 3 speed, but despite that rating, he's not really an entry fragger. He fits way better into the supporting role. For Capitao's main gadget, he comes with his tactical crossbow, which has 2 firing modes. Number 1, you have to pull out the gadget itself to obviously use it. His first firing mode is his firebolts, and once it gets shot onto the ground, as you can see, they kind of spread into a bigger radius, and you can die pretty quick if you're in the fire. His second mode is his smoke grenades. All you have to do is click whatever button it tells you to switch the firing modes, which for me it is in, and then it will do a short animation, and then you can shoot your smoke grenades, and they will last for about 7 seconds, which I believe is the same length as a regular smoke grenade. So to properly use this gadget, let's say you're on a radar room here on Capitao, and let's say you have the breach open, the default stuff is here, so head holes, rotate, whatever, and let's say you're over here in the box. What you're going to probably want to do is, depending on what's going on in the round, realistically. So let's say there's no one here on head holes, you maybe have someone pushing up bread, you could smoke off the head holes here, but you might want to smoke off the rotate or this double door here. So let's say you smoke off the rotate, and then someone could potentially come over here at the double door, then you can use your smoke grenades to deny the area, firebolt, you get what I mean. Another way to play around his fire is by trying to get someone out of a certain corner, or a power position, if you will. But there's another thing that you have to know about the fire specifically. Let's say you aim at the roof, and obviously you shoot the roof, but the fire will go down. It kind of works like Grim in a way. Obviously, you're going to use the smokes to try to clear line of sight. However, one of the strongest aspects about his smokes is you can do the same exact thing on Mira's windows, because she obviously can't see through it, and her gadget doesn't really do much if she can't see anything. Another question you may be asking yourself right now is, when should I really be bringing Capitao? And I think a good spot to be bringing Capitao is any basement side, I would say, or if you notice the enemy teams are playing a little bit more passive. Because if we're taking the new console rework, for example, you could smoke off the double door and fire off the rotate to help try to get the plant down. Also, as a side note, you can click your button to manually switch your firing mode even if you don't have the gadget out already. Moving on to Capitao's weapons, he comes with the Para 308, which does do 52 damage if you run extended barrel, but 47 regularly as a slower fire rate, but comes with a 2-time scope unlike Brava's. Capitao's LMG has pretty much the same exact stats as his AR, however, it comes with a 100-round mag. Here, let me show you. I got Rock Janitor.
One thing, he's behind the shelf. Nice. That's him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call.
I'm gonna smoke. I want your lower square.
I got Capitao.
Nice.
There's one. He also does come with a pretty good sidearm, and if you don't want to use that, you do have the option of a Gon 6 to help clear utility. For secondary gadgets, he does come with the hard breach charges, which is pretty good for getting catches, provided it doesn't have an electric claw on it. And in a last-ditch effort, you could also try to open up a wall with it. And for his other secondary gadget, he comes with the Claymores, which I am personally not a big fan of, but it is kind of a comfort pick for a lot of people. In my personal opinion, the strongest aspect of Capitao is the fact that he can have a lot of map control, whether that is through his main gadget itself, or even as small as his secondary gadgets. And while I understand he's more of a support operator, he can kind of fragment if you really need him to. My personal choice on him is the LMG, because one, it just makes sense for a supporting operator to suppress fire from a long distance with his 2-time scope and his high round magazine, and number 2, it's just really fun to use, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Now, I imagine there will be times where you try to play him, but you don't really need to bring him. Should you try to switch to another operator? In my personal opinion, that would be kind of up to you. I would personally bring him because of all the map pressure and utility that he can bring to his team. But my personal opinion on Capitao is that he is overall an amazing operator, and if you're newer to the game and you don't already have Capitao, then I would 100% recommend you pick him up. But with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and say that's the end of the video. If you like what I make, I appreciate it if you subscribe, and if you're interested in any other operators that I may have covered, go ahead and check out my playlist, where I have covered almost every operator in the game, so you may find your new favorite operator that way. And if you made it this far, and if you've been looking at my upload schedule lately, then I want to go ahead and apologize for not uploading so consistently. A lot of things have happened in my personal life and just tech life in general. So if you are a regular viewer of mine, again, I apologize, and hopefully that won't happen again. But with all that said, I am Carter Tony. I hope you have a good day or good night, and goodbye.